Now let's talk about what is bubble sorting. Bubble sorting, also known as sinking sort, is a simple sorting algorithm that performs comparison on each pair of adjacent elements. The first two element is array, then between the second and the third element, then the third and fourth element, and so on, and interchanging them if they are in wrong order. The algorithm is a name in the way element bubble to the top of the list. Suppose A is an array which is an elements from A0 or A0 to A n minus 1. The bubble sorting algorithm perform as below. In the first pass, compare each pair of adjacent elements to A0 and A1 and A1 and A0, A2 and A3 until AN minus 2 and AN minus 1. It means in bubble sorting, they are comparing two array which is the smallest or the biggest, and it will arrange the array according to their value of an elements within the array. And and arrange them in a proper order by interchanging them if they are in the wrong order. Therefore, in the past n minus 1 position of an array, at the end of the past one trivial largest element is placed in the n minus 1 position of an array at the end of the past one. In the second past, compare each adjacent elements A0 and A1 and A1 and A2 and A2 and an A3 until AN minus A3 and AN minus 2 and arrange them in a proper order. Therefore, in the this past N2, comparison are required and the second largest element is placed in an array n minus 2 positions of an array at the end of the past 2. In the third pass, compare each adjacent element A0 and A1 and A1 and A2, A2 and A3 until AN minus 4 and AN minus 3 and arrange them in a proper order. Therefore, in this past n minus 3 comparisons are required and the largest element is placed in an n minus 3 positions of an array at the end of the past 3. Final, Finally, in the n minus 1 past, compare A0 and A1 and arrange them in a proper order. Therefore, in the past, one comparison is required. The first array element A0 is an apparently smallest element of the array. Therefore, array or A of n elements from A0 to AN minus 1 is sorted after n minus 1 passes. There is an example. We have the 5 inputs or A is equals to n, which is the number of elements is equals to 5. And we start putting the value to 0. The value of the n elements, A0 is, we have 14, and the A1 is equals to 33 and A2 is equals to 27 and A3 is equals to 35 and A4 is equals to 10. In the past, compare each adjacent element and their position if they are in reversed order. In this pass for comparison and two interchanges are required three, which is 3 compared 33 compared to 27 and 35 compared to 10. At the end of this first largest element is placed in the n minus 1 position. So after first pass, an array will be for A0 is equals to 14. Then after we compare the 33 and the array 1 or and the array 2, which is the value of array 1 is 33 and the array 2 is 27, we compare the two array and we find out that 20, 27 is smallest number than 33. Then it's then the array to 27 will be become an array 1 because of the change or the comparing to array elements. Then our array 1 will become 27 and the array 2 will become 33. And the the third and fourth array in the first is 35 and 10 will become 10 and 35 in array 3 is equals to 10, and there will be a change an interchanging of value of an array within the elements. In the second pass performed the same task. In this pass 3 comparison and one interchanging is needed. Then here is we compare 33 and 10. After second pass, the array will be after we compare the array 3 and array 2, then since the array 3 the value first is 10 and the array 2 is 33, we interchange their value according to the smallest to biggest value. Then the array 2 will become 10 and the array 3 will become 33. In the third pass, two comparisons and one interchange is needed. 27, we compare 27 and 10 after third pass, and the array will be as follow. Then since 27 the array 2 and array 1, let's compare it, and we found out that our array 2 from first will value is 10 and the array 1 is 27. Then there will be an interchange of value since array 2 is equals to 10, which is the smallest, and the array 1 is 27 is the biggest. Will interchange the value, and now our array 1 will become 10 and our array 2 will become 27. In the fourth one comparison and one interchanges are needed. Let's compare 14 and 10 after performing fourth pass. An array will look like, since our array 0 is equals to 14 and our array 1 is equals to 10, we, we compare or interchange the value according to the smallest and the largest. First, and now our array 0 will become 10 and our array 1 will become 14. And and in the past in the fourth past one comparisons, we finally come up with a arrange sorted bubble sorts sorted, it's already sorted. from the smallest to biggest value of an array. Then here in figure 10.4, A to E, bubble sort, Iris observes that the fourth passed and the array becomes sorted, so the desired goal is achieved here. Ah, then in algorithm of bubble sort A and 0. Let's create a program.
This call is now being recorded.
Now let's interpret this algorithm. Excuse me. In bubble sorting algorithm, bubble sort A and N, which is the array and the number of elements. Array is an A is an array of an n elements. Set k is equals to 1. K, which is the value. Repeat step 3 to step 5 while k and set 1 is equals to 0. Repeat I is less than or equal to n minus k, then A if I A plus 1, then temp is equals to AI, and AI is equals to AI plus 1. End of end of F. B set I is equals to I plus 1. End of loop. Set K is equals to K plus 1. End of loop. Since I will give an example of this bubble sort. Uh, here is I've shared. Here is the online C compiler. Since I already made an example of this, I will copy paste it in my other apps applications. Coding C. Since I made an example already, well, let's copy paste this one. Copy. This is an example I've made and paste it here. I will explain it later. Alright. It's raining here and time check is 3:51 in the morning. I'll show you the screen, and this will be the program after the first is bubble sort code. This is an example that what I've made now. I first I quoted I make a comment out of I'll start is it's all about bubble sort code and spaced and include studio stdio.h and main. let's hint an array 5, which is the number of elements within an array, and the n, I've uh, I created a C or other elements, other con ant C, ant B, and swap. First, printf, which is to prompt and code an to enter an elements, which is the print enter number of elements space or new line. Scanf, the number, and then the enter number element. This will ask if how many elements within an array, but even if already put an array number, which is the 5 in the end, and print integer, enter and integers. No. For c is equals to 0, I used c instead of I, and c is integers, and c is equals to 0, and c is less than n, and c plus plus. Scanf number array c. For c is equals to 0 again, and also the d. In the second, if array d is equals to array d plus 1, for decreasing number used less than instead of greater than, then swap is equals to array d. It's everything that they encounter the less than number, it will swap the number of a small number of an elements within an array, the value of element within the array. The array d is equals to array d plus 1. Array d plus 1 is equals to swap. Then print sort list in ascending order. For c is equals to 0 and c is less than c plus plus print, then let's run the program. Run the program. From here, since you're not seeing, we can see here that they are asking for the number of elements within an array, which is 5. Then let's put 5. Enter. It's not corresponding. Okay. Check it again. From here, yes, the number of elements is already inserted, which is the enter 5 integers. Just asking for 5 integers that we can sort or you can use in bubble sorting. We put some value, 5 value. We can only sim 4 because it was starting in a 0 elements. We put 10, 7, 8, 5, and 6. How could it be arranged? The online C compiler is not corresponding, so let's type it again. Alright, we put some 2, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3, and 1. Run. This is the difficulties we encountered when we are using C compiler. Sometimes because it's not already slow. Dili siya kaayo mo ano, 7. Enter. Unlike I've used kuan C which is this is not an online compiler. This is coding C. Once you run the program, this is the same with an what I've used in a C compiler. Let's run it here. Oh, there is a lot of errors and masyado mo nga error. But in online C compiler, wala siya error. Again, run. Put some 5 elements. Then enter 5 integers. 2, 4, put 6, 4, 2, 7, and 8. Enter. There is sometimes an error in using this online C compiler because it was not corresponding. Even if I already made this one, an example of this and a result. 6, 4, run. 1, 4, 2, 6, and 8. And 8. Sometimes I've encountered these difficulties in using Kuan. Why could this not be fixed, no? Since there's no error in making my program, there's no error. What's wrong? This there's nothing wrong. but our online compiler is not corresponding. I mean, it was not corresponding. Maybe I'll show you an example na the result after I've made an kuan. I asked for 5 integers, then from 2, 6, 4, 7, and 5. I don't know why this is not corresponding since I've already used my program and run it correctly. There is something wrong with. I know what's wrong because the internet here is on running low or cannot connect to the server. Then that's why we cannot get the because this is an online compiler. Let's put again on the 5 integers 2, 6, 4, 7, and 5. Run. How would it run? Asking for 5 integers. Then 2, 5, 6, 7, no, 4, and 3. Yeah, here, yay! Successfully, we're getting the answer of the running code of our bubble sorting. And let's see here. You can see it here. Yes. From here, there's no error, but last time I've shown you is there's no internet connection. It lost the internet connection here. So my code are asking for a number of array within an elements. Then enter 5 integers. 5 integers or the A5. I entered 5 elements, which is 2, 5, 6, 4, and 3. In bubble sorting, we can see here is it was already arranged as ascending order. We get 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. How could it be? Because again, in bubble sorting, it is comparing two array within an element and swap and swap and swap and so on. Let's go back to the here. No, from here, it was clearly stated that in the first in these examples that there is a 5 elements just like what I've made program. Input date, which is the 14, 33, 27, 35, and 10. In the first, 14 and 14 is constant first, and it was comparing in the first and second, and the third and fourth. So in the first past compare, which is the 33 and 27, no, since 27 is a smallest number than 30 a small number, a small value or a small number than 33, then our value array A is will become 27, and the array value array 2 or value will become 33. And in array 3 and 4, it also compare the value 10 and 33 and 10, which is the array 3 and array 4. Since array 4 array 4 value is 10 and array 3 is 35, and since big array 4 is small than 35, that which is the value of the array 3, it will compare. Then array 3 will become 10 and array 4 will become 35. Since we get the value of maximum, which is the biggest, which is the 35, then it will compare again our the 33 and 10. Since since array 2 is the 33 and array 3 is 10, it was not already arranged, then it will compare. Then array 2 will become 10 and array 3 will become 33. Since we get all the next number next to 35, then let's compare again the array 1 and array 2. Since array 2 is smaller than the array 1, which is 27, it was compare again. 27 is small, bigger than 10, then it will become our array 2. It will change, or it will be swapped the value within an array number. The array number will be the constant, and the array value will swap to the next to the biggest, or from smallest to biggest. Then since we get our array 1, which is 10, and since array 0 is equals to 14, it's bigger than our array 1, which is 10, it will swap it again. Array 0 will become 10 and array 1 will become 14. And finally, we get the ascending order of our bubble sorting. Bubble element, just like what I made in my example. From here, we can conclude that in bubble sorting, it is more on swapping the the array value rather than the array number, or the array elements. In Bye bye. See you. If you know something about this, just comment down what have you learned in this little bit discussions about bubble sort. And if you like this video, just follow me in this channel, in my YouTube channel. See you.